Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of December 28th through January 3rd. So let me be the first to say Happy New Year to you. During this period, we'll have the first quarter moon that comes in on I think it's the 27th and the 28th. So that's a time when you might feel impulsive, impatient. Maybe your mind's a little bit active, kind of hard to get anything accomplished. We then move into the waxing gibbous moon, which is a really good time for a deeper understanding and outlook, a good time to act on your intuition, also a really good time for planning and preparation. So with the new year approaching, you might want to be planning as far as looking at those resolutions that you might have in mind, things that you want to change for the next year, and starting to kind of work on those things or think about those things at least. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Capricorn. So, as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is that you are good enough. Okay, let's see what the Capricorn Collective has going on. Of course, just like last week, this week is also going to be kind of a quicker reading. That's just because I know that you're very busy. I'm also very busy, and who has time? So I just wanted to touch base and make sure that we got a reading in. But of course, everything's just a little bit more hurried right now. So I'll get through this reading. I promise you that next week we will kind of take a deeper breath, relax, and take our time with the readings. But I just wanted to get something to you this week, even though it's a little bit busy. So all right, let's get into this reading for Capricorn, December 28th through January 3rd. You are good enough. Your present energy right now is the High Priestess. So it is a good time right now, again, for acting on your intuition. And here shows up the High Priestess to help you do just that. The High Priestess is that energy of really paying attention to your dreams, to what you're feeling, to your intuition, and acting on those things, even though you're not even quite sure where those things are coming from. It's just literally you're being guided in some manner. So that's a great energy to have right now. Your current situation is you might be feeling a little bit nostalgic here with the Six of Cups. This is kind of, as we're taking the time to look back on the year, it might be a time that you pick up the phone and call an old friend that you haven't heard from in a long time, or you might be thinking about that person or someone, people from your past, just kind of reliving New Year's gone by. So, what is the old lang syne? Should old acquaintance be forgot? Yeah, that song. Anyway, think about that. But it's kind of a time when we all do that. We kind of go through and do a review, not only of the past year, but even years past that. So that's an energy that you'll definitely find yourself in at some point this week. At the root of your situation is kind of just juggling to keep it all in the air. It is a kind of confusing time with extra time off from work sometimes during the holidays, and everything gets just a little bit out of whack. So trying to balance everything and keep all the balls in the air, right? Keep things going this week. And I promise you next week will all be a little bit more back to normal, right? In your recent past is the moon. I love this is twice now in the series of readings that the High Priestess and the moon have come out together. And I feel like this is your recent past, and now you moving into the stronger energy of, again, paying attention to your synchronicities, your intuitions. You might be having stronger dreams and things that are just kind of guiding you. So pay attention to your dreamscapes this week. What things are coming to you in the night. And anytime I see these cards together like that, I feel like that energy is just amplified and magnified. So lots of things might be coming to you intuitively this week. You might just want to take some notes and just, kind of just keep track of those things that are coming to you. What is on your mind this week is the World card. So it looks like, it's on your mind. Again, this is the end of the major arcana. This is a card of wrapping things up and wrapping things up in a positive way so that things are in perfect balance, things are good, and that maybe that's just your general feeling about your entire year. It's been a good year, and how can we make it even better next year? But just really taking the time to really appreciate the good things and being very grateful for the year that you've had and the good things that have come your way this year. What is just ahead of you this week? King of Cups. So, not only are you, feeling a little reminiscent here, but you're also very emotionally balanced about it. I don't see you getting too, maudlin or anything during this time. You're just going to be kind of emotionally balanced and very knowledgeable about how your emotions function and also the people around you. And you're just kind of like that kind of stoic, able to maintain that this week. I wouldn't put that past a Capricorn, by the way, to just be just very like, yeah, it's like you have emotions, they're in there, but you're not super outward with them, but you're just very kind of controlled and measured about those types of things and expressing them. What is in your advice position is the Three of Pentacles. So this is just to kind of be creative and maybe work well with others. And this could be maybe you're planning a get together and you're going to be creative about it and work well with others and how you plan a party. It could be something work related that comes up that's kind of on your mind. But this is just, because it's in your advice position, it's just a kind of reminder to work well with others, to listen to others as you're working with them, to hear what their thoughts and ideas, and to let those creative things play out. What is beyond your control this week is a little bit of anxiety, with things that are coming to an end. Again, you kind of, when we get in those moods where we kind of look back on things and we're having to kind of let go of things also. And maybe we all have things in the past year that maybe weren't the best. And it kind of makes you, kind of keeps you up a little bit at night. Just try not to dwell too much, feel those things and then let them go so that you can get a good night's sleep and get back to some rest and just celebrate the fact that we've got this new energy of the new year coming up here. All right, what is your secret desire or what you're trying to avoid? Well, hopefully this is your secret desire, with the 10 of Cups also being one of the happiest cards in the deck. I mean, much like the World card, I think you're able to look back and say, you know what, it has been a really good year. When I look at my family, my friends, everything's been great. There's of course there's things that we all wish you could kind of have a redo on, but that's just those learning experiences that we all have. There's things that we rather not have gone through, but that's life, right? You have to go through those things in order to get to a place where you can understand why you're so grateful when things do go awesomely. What is in your outcome position is, yeah, and just an ending. We've got two endings here, one happy, one kind of a mental, maybe it's the end of whatever this is. You are going to put that to bed, but just, two endings. Endings are new beginnings, and that's exactly where we are at the end of the year. There's some things that you're probably going to put to rest mentally that you just don't even want to think about anymore. So again, feel those things, acknowledge those things, and then try to just let them go, and we can move into the future, into this next year with just a really good positive attitude. What is hidden from you is the Eight of Cups. So this is kind of venturing out into the future with some support at your back, and that's not really where you are just yet. And maybe that'll come next week. This week is really, again, it's about enjoying the moment, enjoying where you've been, also just recognizing where you've been, not only the good stuff but the bad stuff too. Again, it happens to all of us. That's life, and that is how we learn. But just feel those things and then let them go so that we can move into this new year on a positive note. All right, let's get a final message here for Capricorn from the Soul Oracle deck. If my mouth will wrap around words a little bit. Wake up call. Wake up call. So you are good enough. Look at the life around you. You are good enough, but you're maybe having a little bit of a wake up call here when it comes to this. Let's not focus on the negative. What is it that maybe you do need to wake up to? Are there things that you would change in the coming year? And again, that's why we're making those kind of resolutions, and we all take that time to look back. So see if there's something there that you do need to make a major change on in the coming year, and then just start to apply it, start to get to work on chipping away at that thing. Okay, let's see what Capricorn needs to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Capricorn this week. All right. And the card that you get is Pamper. Self-care is a necessity, not a luxury. So if you need to get yourself into that bubble bath, I always say my post-holiday bubble baths are the best because I always get the best new bathing things and lotions and just things that smell amazing, and bath bombs and that sorts of things. Those things just seem to be quite abundant, and I do love my post-holiday baths. So if that's you and you need to take one of those, just get in there, rest and relax. Once again, Capricorn, I do want to wish you a very happy new year. I hope you have a wonderful time this week, whether you stay in or go out or whatever that might be for you. But make sure that you just do the things that you enjoy doing and really just enjoy your friends and family and this kind of balanced place where you are. I think, here we go into the brand new year. Again, next week the readings will be a little calmer, a little quieter, maybe a little bit longer. It will take some more time, but I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a reading this week, even though we're all a little crazy with our schedule. So thanks again for being here, Capricorn, and have a happy new year. I will see you next week. Bye bye.